How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be focusing on the creative player and Bob Feller's debut, so I hope you all enjoy. And we have some additional content that will be released. We'll be able to use the Chris Sale pretty soon. It looks like we're going to get some mini-seasons missions. We're also going to get the Padres City Connect uniform. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the Toolshed archetype. I have maxed out a few different creative players, and you want to make sure that your attributes cap out at 50. Everything is maxed out except for the bunt attribute, and then I'll quickly go through my player build. Right, I'm using the Toolshed archetype with 2 contact perks and 2 fielding perks, and then I'll quickly take you through my equipment so you can see exactly how to get these attributes on your creative player. And this is a contact build. I also have a power type build. I've used the Anomaly, I've used the Duke, I've used the Toolshed, and all 3 of those cards are really good. But we're going to go ahead and hop into some ranked seasons. I'm going to try out Bob Feller for the first time. One other thing I wanted to mention is that I use Ketel Marte's swing on my creative player, just the defaulted swing, simply because he is a natural switch hitter, and in last year's game, the finest version of Ketel Marte was my best hitter probably in any MLB The Show game, so that's why I use him. And when you put all that together, this is the creative player that you end up with. A very solid card after the equipment, after the archetype, and I guess perks have been added to the creative player. So we're going to go ahead and hop into a game of ranked seasons. Bob Feller, 97 overall. I've used him for 1 event game. He had a lot of strikeouts, but I was also facing an opponent that swung at pretty much everything. So that was not the greatest sample size. Here we're starting to huff the game with a diving play from George Brett. That'll be a nice one. Automatic dive, and that's 1 out. So the biggest thing about Bob Feller is kind of establishing the slider and the sinker early on. You have to be able to throw an off-speed pitch other than the 12-6 curveball consistently, because you cannot only rely on this breaking pitch. Right, you have to be able to mix in that slider, you have to mix in that changeup, and you have to mix in that sinker. If you can get the individual pitch confidence up on both of those pitches, then Bob Feller is going to be that much more effective. Because if you're just spamming the outlier fastball, the opponents are going to be able to adjust and most of the time catch up to it and really start to sit on that one pitch. You have to mix it up with Bob Feller pretty well. And his par range is significant on certain pitches. This one's going to get down the line here. Kind of an interesting base knock. We went with the sinker inside, and he pulled it. That was a pitch that I'll have to remember. Here we're going with the changeup. Try to get him early out in front of it. Not the best location there. It was right where I wanted it. But I might have missed with the feedback a little bit. It would have been better to have that pitch below the strike zone. But good at bat from the opponent right there. We went up 1-0. Now he goes up 1-0, and now we have 2 down. We're going with the curveball, probably what I should have threw to Rafael Devers, but he had a much better at-bat with Devers. He was a little bit more patient. He did get the pitch confidence down on that changeup, but very next batter, Pablo Sanchez starting off the inning. I had a feeling he was going to go to that changeup low and away, or at least something low and away, and there he sat on it, smack it for a home run, and tie up the ball game. Bottom of the 4th, George Brett, very next batter. I was looking for a slider, right? We just hit a changeup. He might have went to a fastball up and inside. That time I was selling out for a slider. He throws it away, and we just barely missed it. But later in the 5th inning, this opponent was, stringing together some good quality base hits. He had some guys in scoring position. I had to go to my bullpen in this situation. He had some really good ABs, and we ended up throwing a sinker right down the middle to Luis Robert. Luckily, he hit it right to Roberto Clemente. That was really lucky. He might have been late there. It was a pitch right down the middle. Very next inning, I'm squaring up a pitch, fastball, 2-seamer. Goes absolutely nowhere, right to the glove. And now, very next inning here, we have Josh Hader. First pitch he throws, hanging slider. This one's on the early side of good, way early side of good, and it goes deep. So, with a guy that has, maybe 4 or 5 more power than Joe Mauer does, that makes it a 1-run game. We're down by a run once again. Pablo Sanchez and the Toolshed picking us up with 2 outs. We got a 2-out base knock. We really need to get something going here. I wish that would have been a fastball low in the zone. I think I would have hit it out for a home run. Here, next inning, Joe Mauer is smacking a perfect line drive on a sinker. 0-2 count. He goes to a sinker inside, and I was ready for that one. Did not miss it. We pause the game. We warm up the bullpen, and here he goes to another sinker. Roberto Clemente is going deep. No doubter. And even though I'm not playing that well in this game, right, we have, only 4 runs. It's a 4-3 game. It's a pretty close one. Whenever the opponent has scored, I've been able to respond with a couple of runs of my own. And we've been able to capitalize on insurance opportunities, right? Scoring a run right here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 down is huge. Here we have George Brett, another one, back-to-back with 2 down to make sure that we have that 3-run cushion going into the top of the 9th. That's exactly what we need, but we're not done yet. We're looking to try and get something going here with 2 down, 2-out rally. Ketel Marte, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, right, always been one of my better hitters. I don't know what it is about his swing. I like his no-doubt animation. The fact that it's a 2-handed swing when typically he swings with a 1-handed swing is just really nice. Jorge Polanco is another card I have just tried out a couple times there with an infield base hit. We're going for the jugular right here. We're going for the knockout blow, and Frank Thomas is not going to get the job done. Alfonso Soriano catches this one at the warning track, but it was a pretty good hit. I'll take that opportunity, right? We pinch hit for Joe Mauer. We brought in Frank Thomas, and we also brought in Gary Carter to now play catcher. I'm going to go ahead and leave in Yohan Duran just because he's one of my best relievers, if not a top 3 reliever in the entire game. I also had Steve Cishek warming up, who is my best reliever. But we're going to go ahead and try and get him with the fastball right here. Line drive. I thought that one was gone. I thought that was gone off the bat. No ball icon. But we make the play there with Roberto Clemente. And we move up to the 700. So that game was, in fact, on Hall of Fame difficulty. And now we are guaranteed to play on Hall of Fame. So that's awesome. Haven't played, only a few games on Hall of Fame, I would say, in the last month or so. But I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. This is the squad that I'm going to be using. I am probably going to adjust it a little bit, especially once I get a couple of these brand new TAKASHI players from this recent program, the Sizzling Summer program. But we also have an entire pitching staff, or I should say starting 5 rotation of outlier pitchers. And then we also have a couple guys who throw pretty hard in the bullpen. But I could also rearrange this and put in Tom Glavine. I think Tom Glavine's still one of the top pitchers in the game. But as we move forward towards some of these brand new things on the updated schedule, I plan on making some roster investments in order to prepare for this all-star program with the home run derby cards and all that good stuff. We're probably going to need a lot of stubs for that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing some research, trying to invest in players that I think are going to get upgraded, but I'm not going to buy them until after they get upgraded with my stub trick. That's going to do it. I'm College Lefty, and peace out.